few messages, and then we'll get to our sound bowl. I just got a new one. I've been wanting this for a while. Listen real quick. We didn't even need to do that, but so I'm excited for today's practice. I just did a class on the crown chakra, so today I am in a little bit purple, also, representing the third eye here. Had to bring in a little bit of blue. So I made my own deck out of paper. I need to get it, printed, because I hate shuffling with paper. But I'm just gonna do that today. So I love how on brand this is from the crown chakra. Connect with the spirits of wonder, of imagination. Go back to your playfulness, to your joy, to your curiosity, to your pleasure. Stop taking life so seriously. Life is too short for that. Agreed. Life is too short for that. I know a lot of stuff is going on right now, but we gotta kind of just reconnect to our own bodies for a bit. We gotta kind of remember we can't be plugged in all the time. We have things to create, even as this stuff goes on. Yes, we have things to do, people to connect with. Like, it's so easy to lose sight in all of this stuff. And, instead of it making you completely tap out of who you are and what you're here to do, instead of it making you lose sight of purpose and to your connection with the divine, maybe it's supposed to be redirected to something else. So in this time, don't let it, have you doomsday scrolling. Don't let it, make you think that the world is over. There is something that you are supposed to be doing. Once again, I know there's a lot going on. Too much. But in this time, don't tap out. This is where you're supposed to drive deeper into it. You're supposed to drive more into what you're meant to do. This is the time. Pressure. Pressure. Something else came up. It says we go through things that chemically alter our minds and bodies. Things that completely change us and how we're wired. Give yourself grace. So yes, this can be past stuff, this can be future stuff. Give yourself grace in this time. I know, once again, it can be very overwhelming with the weight of the world and all the other stuff that you might be carrying. It can be really hard to kind of, stay on track. And once again, we talk about purpose and all this type of stuff. It can be very heavy, especially when the spirit is calling. It's like, get up, get up, get up. Sometimes, when either you're in like a deep depression or you're so disconnected from your body, you're just tapped out. Once again, it can be a heavy weight to just hear the spirit trying to pull you up, and it can literally be get the hell up, literally, and you're just oh, and it's just guilt and shame that kind of comes with that, and just hopelessness and helplessness. But once again, give yourself grace. You'll get out of it in due time, but give yourself grace, because you are not lazy. You're processing. You are not behind. You are healing, and our path is going to look different from others. But once again, you have to give yourself grace and know that you're going to come out of it much more greater because of that. So, we'll get one more. We'll move on to our next deck here. Oh, it's flipped. A message from the universe. It is already done. You already have it. I know a lot of people be, rushing towards stuff, fighting for stuff, or, I know even with me, I was in a situation that I really wanted to get out of. I felt actually trapped, caged, and nothing would come to me being in that position. And I know it was really a matter of time. It was kind of crazy how it happened, but sometimes, people or things are put in your way to help you step up. We be thinking things are obstacles, but really, it's a time to actually pull yourself out of that. And that's exactly what happened. And I was like, at this time, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Or I'm going to, get out of this, and I'm going to be here. And it's so funny. It happened a lot sooner than I expected. And once again, it's just a matter of time, but we have to also remember. And I remember I was saying this during actually this time. It's actually so funny that this one came out. I was actually saying that in this time, and actually a friend helped me realize it because she said that. She said, your higher self already knows it's done. I remember she was saying we were constantly, because we both were going through like similar situations. And she was like, we're going in circles right now, but there's a place where our higher selves are like just so at peace and so relaxed because they already have it. It's already done. We already, became that. We already overcame that. And it was just so powerful for me to think about, like, just the idea like other realms and how, like, wow, that really, like, it is done. And the fact that I want it now and I'm chasing after it now kind of shows you that, like, it's already a thing. It's already, And I don't know, it was really empowering. And I remember I wrote that down a lot. And it became a little message in my deck here. So once again, it is already done. You already have it. I know I can't really say don't stress, but it's already yours. And this time, the most challenging thing might really just be relaxing into that role. We talked about that with the crown chakra today, once again in my yoga class. To relax into your purpose, to breathe into alignment, and how that's really hard for a lot of people, especially when you're stuck in survival mode. Once again, we go through things that chemically change our minds, chemically alter our bodies, things that completely change us and how we're wired. So it can be very hard to kind of be like, we just have to relax into it. We already have it. I don't have to work towards it no more. Rest, sleep, rest, breathing. I'm so used to going, so hard for something, and, that it just is actually really hard for people to understand and to even do. But that's the most important thing at this time, to relax your nervous system. You have to be in a state of receiving. You have to be in a state of being receptive, of listening, of being able to receive that. Whether, like, whatever it is, love, opportunity, like, if you are not in that, like, total space, like, it's gonna miss you. You're gonna miss it. And once again, it's really a thing of being able to relax your nervous system, being able to come back to your body, whatever you need to do. Maybe a spell or something, maybe some type of activity to be able to, help you through that. So like I said, even with yoga, being able to practice intentionally and slowly, breathing, remembering the inhales and the exhales, remembering to keep your eyes closed and to trust your body, to trust the flow, wherever your body wants to go. Like, your body already knows how to heal itself. It already knows how to relax, but we kind of have to tap into that. We have to kind of pull back the layers to get back to that, because once again, with a whole bunch of things happening on us and happening to us, it can just, like I said, be very overwhelming. It can be very hopeless, very helpless. It just feel like a situation is out of our control. But once again, why are you trying to gain control of something that's already yours? You're just learning to release. Just learn to release it and let whoever you believe in, God, your ancestors, your spirit guides, the universe, Mother Nature, let them take control of it. Let them take control. You have to surrender. Once again, that's the crown chakra right there, surrendering. Being able to know that you're already on your path. You have to believe that you are divinely guided, that you are divinely protected. You actually have to believe that. So we're going to look into the witch's craft. There's a lot of good activities in here. I remember when I first came across this book, it had a lot of things in here that my Nana used to teach. So we're just gonna randomly choose a page. Randomly choose a page. The workings of power. I actually have not read this page yet. This is talking about scrying or using, like mirror magic in a lot of different ways. This is a big one. It's a lot because it's just, you can do a lot with that. But one of the things I did talk about is, the left and right. The left is connected with the moon. The right is connected with the sun. Left feminine, right masculine. So the left is more about receiving, about being receptive, about being open. The right, the masculine, the sun, that's about doing. It's about, the energy. It's about, the feminine is more about embodying. So being able to discern what season this is for you is really important, and to be just very, once again, in touch with where you're at and what you want. If you want this to be a more feminine season, stepping more into what's relaxing, the self-care, the embodying, the affirmations. If you want to step more into your masculine, or you want to, get things, start up, want more energy, it's about the doing. Maybe going to work out, maybe doing power yoga instead of, more calming yoga, or restorative yoga. And it can mean actually having set dates. The masculine has a lot more like structure. So, and the feminine is some more about being fluid. I even teach this when it comes to yoga. If you want to step more into the feminine, it's about being more fluid with your movements. It's about being very intentional with the colors you wear, and it's very important. It's very important, but it may seem, small, but it's very important with the type of energy you want to bring in. The goal is to be at a frequency where you can either receive something or you can get something. So, but yes. So it talked a bit about that. I even tell people that, like, even when you do yoga, when you have your hands up versus down, you're trying to give something away, you're trying to release something. Hands up, and you're trying to receive something. Once again, the masculine, feminine. So it went into that. It went into, like I said, mirror magic, about how you can use that in short rhymes to be able to bring in certain things or release certain things. So depending on, what you're going through, if you are going through a heartbreak, or, something is going on, you want to release something, you want to get rid of something, using fire, using light or candlelight to burn maybe something you wrote up. About getting rid of some type of connection that is just holding you back from stepping into what you need to be doing, or it just feels too heavy for you right now. So writing that down and burn that in a mirror. Even when it comes to, the type of people that's in your life. If you feel like you have people who are kind of, hating on you or taking out energy, draining you, also doing, mirror magic to kind of make sure you're not in the mirror. Like having 2 mirrors up, or somehow I think you can do 1. But I know having 2 mirrors towards each other and having a candle in the middle, and maybe with somebody's name or something, wrapped around there. And so they won't be able to reach you with whatever they put out, whatever negative intentions or energy, or even spells, because people do spells like that type, they won't be able to get you. They'll be getting themselves instead. So whatever, they send out, they'll get back, literally. So being able to just, do stuff like that if you want to tap into, this type of work. And once again, short rhymes, affirmations, that's really important too. And so that's also, if it's pertaining to love as well, or like some form of like something sweet, or opportunity. If there's something that you want to bring in, affirmation, like saying you already have it, it's you repeating that. I have this, or I'm surrounded by this. I'm surrounded by love. I am full of love. I embody love. Therefore, I attract more love. Things like that. I know that one's very powerful. But once again, if you want to get that, you have to put yourself at a frequency to be able to receive it. Meaning you have to, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Sometimes that's really all it is. I have it. I already have it. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich. Yes, I'm rich. In your words. Now, if you speak words of lack, you're not going to get it. You're pushing it further away from yourself. But if you already embody, if you already have, you will get it. That's really all there is to it sometimes, if you just want to simplify it. But if you make it rhyme, make it a little cute, something that you can easily repeat, something you can easily, lodge in your mind, it makes it that easier for you to, get that. It's just the law of attraction there. All right. Moving on to my deck. Evolution. I like that. So, evolution is a girl. She has wings. Like she just stepped into something bigger. And her crown is actually lit up. I don't know if you guys can see that. Something at her crown. Evolution. We are stepping into something bigger, and stepping into something that'll put us in a whole other timeline. So when we said that it's already done, you already have it. You know, that's already began happening. And it's already done somewhere else. But you just actually have to believe that. And once again, we do go through a lot of stuff that, like I said, can actually alter us, alter like how we function. But to be able to use that to propel us forward, to transmute that energy, to transmute that experience is a very powerful thing. That's what I said earlier. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. But to let that transmute you, let it transmute your work, your purpose, to let it fully push you to where you need to go, that is a powerful thing. That is a powerful thing. A lot of people will let it turn them completely off, will let it take everything away from them. But to let it push you forward like that, that's powerful. So when we said that it's already done, you already have it. You know, that's already began happening. And it's already done somewhere else. But you just actually have to believe that. And once again, we do go through a lot of stuff that, like I said, can actually alter us, alter like how we function. But to be able to use that to propel us forward, to transmute that energy, to transmute that experience is a very powerful thing. That's what I said earlier. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. But to let that transmute you, let it transmute your work, your purpose, to let it fully push you to where you need to go, that is a powerful thing. That is a powerful thing. A lot of people will let it turn them completely off, will let it take everything away from them. But to let it push you forward like that, that's powerful. That is the most revolutionary thing to do, is to still evolve. The most revolutionary thing you can do is to evolve. Is to transmute. Is to create. Even when things around you, you know, because all of these things have been happening for a long time. These things have been happening before everything, like literally. These things been going on for a while. And that can pertain to anything, I'm going to be honest. Whatever's going on in the news, whatever is going on in our lives, you know, it's been going on for a while. And something just came up. The image, I remember it was a dream actually I had. I remember I was, like I said, it was in that situation I brought up. Like I said, I felt so stuck, so caged there. And I was making myself sick. And I remember there was so many nights I spent crying. And I remember one time I called out to my ancestors, my spirit guides. I was just like I was just crying. I was like, please help me. Like, I can't do this. It's too much. And I forgot specifically what I said, but it's so crazy because the dream I had that night literally correlated it with it so crazily. Like, I don't know if I asked for a message. I don't know. I think I asked them. Like, I said I felt stuck. I said I was stuck. And I was like, please help me get out of this. I was like, help me. And I remember the dream I had that night. I was in a wheelchair or like some type of chair that, you know, helped me to get around. And I was very much in pain. Every little movement I made, it was just very painful. And I had somebody there to help me with every little thing that I had, you know, to do, like to wipe me, to bathe me, like they were doing all of that. So I had no more control of my life anymore. I was actually like stuck. I was actually in pain. I was actually, you know, and I remember at one point too, I have it all in my notes too. I remember it was like F, it was like 3 letters that was like the disease I had in a dream, I guess, or some type of condition I had. It was like 3 letters. I forgot. I have to look back at it. It started with A or an F or something. I don't know. But I remember like whoever my caretaker was, they moved me to like this area, and it was like a museum. It was a museum of suffering. It was like so many portraits around me of people like suffering and just hopeless and helpless, as I said earlier, and the people who were just actually, stuck, and just so much grief was surrounding me at that time. I was in the Museum of Grief. And I remember, too, I don't know what my caregiver was saying to me at that time. It was a loved one of mine. But they were just so tired and so annoyed of having to keep doing this. They were so done of having to take care of me. I remember they said something, too. I forgot what they said. But I just felt like such a burden on top of that. And it was just such a heavy dream. And it was just so crazy how it correlated with like exactly what I was saying to my ancestors before I went to sleep. But yeah, I was crying throughout the dream, and like it was actually really bad. And not to say that people in those situations are stuck. Like I understand they do have their challenges, but there are people who are, even able to like, do the things that they want to do, and to be, I've seen people who are like on TED Talk, and people like with these disabilities, and like who came out and talk about, all the things that they're able to do and how they're able to live their lives, even with this going on. So not even to say that, put anything on anybody, or, to say that they're stuck or anything. But I know that that was a really profound dream to me, and it really made me see that, like, whatever I was going through, it was not that big of a challenge. And I don't want to say, and I mean it was, but when, like, I don't want to say compared to that, I don't want to make it sound like that. I'm really not trying to. But all I'm saying is, in that time, I really could have chose gratitude more. And even though, it was breaking my spirit being in that situation, like seeing what I was shown that night, like they were like, be careful what you ask for, basically. They was like, you do not need help. You do not, like, they were like, calm down, first off, calm down. I felt that so heavily after I woke up. I was like, dang, I forgot what exactly I asked them. I wish I knew. But yeah, I just know I was just, crying for help, like I said, and I was just feeling very stuck. And they were just like, you are not stuck. You are not stuck. You are not stuck. So whether it was because, after, a little bit after, maybe a couple months after that type of dream, I would be out of that situation, or whether it was just like, like I said, just a time thing. It's just, it's a little bit of time, just calm down. Or maybe, they were just like, it could be a lot harder. A lot of people, like this type, like grief, pain, suffering, it's a human thing. That's a part of this experience. Stop letting it engulf you. Stop letting it control you. Stop letting it, dictate what you can imagine for yourself. Like, stop letting it hold up your evolution. You gotta find a way to either transmute that and redirect that, or you just have to find a way to grow through that. Or if it's just, like I said, with my situation, just a matter of time, just a matter of resting. So whether it was because, after, a little bit after, maybe a couple months after that type of dream, I would be out of that situation, or whether it was just like, like I said, just a time thing. It's just, it's a little bit of time, just calm down. Or maybe, they were just like, it could be a lot harder. A lot of people, like this type, like grief, pain, suffering, it's a human thing. That's a part of this experience. Stop letting it engulf you. Stop letting it control you. Stop letting it, dictate what you can imagine for yourself. Stop letting it hold up your evolution. You gotta find a way to either transmute that and redirect that, or you just have to find a way to grow through that. Or if it's just, like I said, with my situation, just a matter of time, just a matter of resting. Maybe it was just a matter of getting my vision right, of getting it, to where I needed to go, to getting it more aligned with purpose. Maybe, that's all that was holding it up. But once again, we be calling it out so quick. We're like, oh, this is it. I'm this, I'm that, I'm done, or I failed, or I'm stuck. And once again, if you say that to yourself, if you keep saying that, but you are not stuck. As long as you got breath in your body, Even if we take out, like the health, I don't want to say that, but as long as you got breath in your body, you are not stuck. It might feel that way right now, but feelings are temporary. You're going to move through that. You're going to move past that. You just have to keep going. Also, as I said, be grateful for your health. Be grateful for the people around you. Be grateful for any type of vision you get. Be grateful that you woke up this morning. Be grateful for literally just the things you have around you. Even if you don't like your house or your apartment or your situation, be grateful. Be grateful. Be grateful. Because like I said, I don't want to say it can be way worse, but at the same time, like, just be grateful. Just be grateful. I'm gonna pull one more card from this deck. I don't know why this card popped out. It's the Father card. I don't know. I'm gonna use this other deck either to clarify it. Lesson Oracle cards. Ooh. Cleansing popped out. Cleansing. I actually just got this stone today, the black tourmaline. I just got a crystal or a necklace. It also says feather on here. Cleansing. You need to cleanse your space, cleanse your body. It kind of goes with what we read in our book here. What we read in here. They talked about a cleansing as well. Anything you want to release, get rid of it. You can do mirror magic. They even brought up, smudging. They brought up, a whole bunch of things, using fire, using candlelight. Those are examples I brought in too. And using, like mantras and your words and everything to kind of get something, out of your space, or to even remove your hands off of something, remove your control off of something. But yes, cleansing is needed. If it's, since this card popped up, the Father card, maybe that means there's some pains there. I know whether, daddy issues, it's I understand. But we don't want to feed those wounds. We don't want to act out of those wounds either. So cleansing that space, whether it could be a father figure, maybe something happened there, but also thinking about even our relationships, thinking about how that might show up and how that might even sabotage something. So cleansing that space there. Once again, I'm gonna bring up this card again. We went through things that chemically alter our minds and bodies, things that completely change us and how we're wired. Give yourself grace. Something needs to be healed in that space. Something needs to be realized in that space to be able to get fully into our evolution, to be able to step fully into our evolution. Once again, with any oracle, tarot, anything I do, the whole message might resonate with you, or it might be bits and pieces. Take what you need and leave the rest. Take what you need and leave the rest. Once again, certain things might not speak to you. This might just be a whole bunch of messages to different people, whoever need them, or once again, the whole thing might relate. Ooh. 2 things flipped over. Dance and initiation. So dance and initiation. It also says sacred site. So once again, we talked about it here. It kind of always goes back, but connect with the spirits of wonder, of imagination. Go back to your playfulness. Go back to your joy, your curiosity, your pleasure. Stop taking life so seriously. Life is too short for that. Go dance. Go play some Jill Scott. That's something I love doing. I feel like I rarely do it anymore. Sometimes, like I said, just the earthly distractions and things kind of, it'd be a lot going on. But the times that I do get to dance, get to play some music, get to sway, get the vibe out, or even get the, get on my mat and do some yoga, or do some just movements, whatever, some somatic movements, and just, when I get back in my body, I feel more like myself. I feel more spiritually aligned. I feel more aligned with purpose and with spirit, and it's just such a beautiful thing. So use dance. And here, initiation, once again, we talk about evolution. It's about, just stepping into that. And the first step, as we talked about before, is being able to kind of get back to your body, or to just get into that space or that frequency where you are ready to receive. You're ready to actually start. You're ready to start on this path. But once again, with all these different strings, whether it's, daddy issues, or whether it's just things making us feel stuck. There's a reason why that dream came to mind. I don't even know how long ago that was. But once again, I'm probably talking to people who are feeling stuck or feeling just really heavy in grief right now. Don't let that consume you. I'm going to say it again. Don't let that consume you. Dance it out. Dance through it. Cleanse it out of your system. It might be gentle. You might not be up for dance right now. You might just need to get some sage or some Palo Santo. You might need to get something just around your crown, around your body, around all the chakras. You might need to go through, your system with it. But to be able to just start that process, wherever you want to start, you're able to. Once again, it's just your practice here. And, but whatever you want to practice with, whether it's the cleansing, spiritual cleansings, even taking, a spiritual bath. You can do that too. Get some Florida water in there, some milk in there, or, you can cut up some oranges, different, fruits of the type of energy you want to take on, or things that you want to cleanse. Just the water is like just cleansing for the spirit anyways. Going to the beach, going to a river, waterfall, cleansing your head, your third eye, being able to even imagine it taking something heavy from you, taking any grief, any heartache, any pains, washing away any wounds that we might have here, anything that might be affecting our path, asking it to bring more life into that space, to bring more energy into that space, for it to propel us, asking for help to transmute from that space. Once again, in this chapter that I read, it talked about, using different elements. So like I said before, using fire for certain things to get rid of something just heavy that you just need to completely burn away, or using water as something gentle but powerful to rinse through you and to bring new energy, new life to you, and take away anything that was draining your life, anything that was draining from your life force. Air, earth, those are powerful ones too. And knowing which one is calling you right now. Like earth is, of course, more for grounding. It's once again, that's connecting to Mother Earth. So when we talk about, even barefoot, walking, there's like, free electrons that's going into our bodies when we, have our bare feet to the ground. I said this in my crown chakra class, but I said that Mother Nature, or whoever you believe in, but I said Mother Nature, she can take away anything you don't want, anything that doesn't serve you. If you ask her to, just step out there. You can talk to a tree about it. You can talk to her. She hears it all, no matter what you're talking to. She hears it. So asking her to maybe take away something, to help you release something, to help ground you in who you are and your purpose and what you need, and like in the season, whatever. Asking for help with that, or asking her for new energy. Sometimes, and this is a big one for me. So another friend actually brought this up. Because I remember I was going through like some type of heartache at the time. It was years ago. And I was like, I keep calling back my energy from him, and it don't seem like it's working. It doesn't seem like it's working. And he was like, why are you calling back the energy from him? He tainted it. That's his. So why would you even want that? And it hit me hard when he said that. I even had to write it down. I was like, pause, say it again. But he was like, you need to call forth new energy, cleaner energy, pure energy. You need to call forth energy that will revitalize you, that will bring you back to life, that will ignite you. You need to call forth something that will make you whole again. Anything from him, if you're calling it back, that's not about to work. If you want to cut off, wherever that connection was, you can cut it off there. But don't call back nothing unless, like, of course, it's your power. You can call back your power. You can call back stuff like that. But any energy, like, you can ask for that to be cleansed. If you really want that energy back, you can call for that to be cleansed. And then return it to you. or transmuted into something greater, you know, stuff like that. But calling forth pure, clean energy from Mother Earth is beautiful, and it's a powerful thing. It was a very powerful summer for me, because I used to cleanse with fire or, you know, air, like saging, or water, but that I think was my maybe first time cleansing with earth. I was in the woods. It was during like the summer. I was at a summer camp that time, and I think I was a summer counselor or a summer camp counselor at the time. But I remember it was just so powerful for me, and I just felt so in tune with everything and so connected to the divine, and it was just so beautiful. So yeah, going out to nature. I know I was staying out there for like, what was it, 8 weeks? So that was just a very powerful summer for me. And beneath all the trees, waking up to birds waking me up, and like with so many, you know, star nights, star filled skies, and it was just so beautiful. So yes, connecting with those energies, definitely, that's a powerful thing, and I definitely would recommend that. Earth being a powerful one, and the other ones, but we'll see. Ooh, Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles came out. All right. Maybe let's choose one more. Ooh, and the moon. Once again, we were just talking about the sun and moon earlier. We were talking about the energies, the masculine, the feminine. Over here, you see the masculine, the father, you know, talking about father moons. And over here, we're talking about the moon. So we're talking about, you know, the feminine. We gotta heal the feminine here. You know what? That's so funny. It actually lines up now. I wish I would have started with tarot, because it usually lines it all up. But, you know, I like starting from here, too, because, you know, kind of pieces its way together. But when we talk about connecting with the spirits of wonder, imagination, going back to your playfulness, to your joy, your curiosity, your pleasure, and also using dance as a healer, as an initiator, as a cleanser. I love this. I love how this is coming together. I might do one more, and I'll explain the Six of Pentacles and the moon. The Five of Pentacles. Okay, that one came out with its face down. So the Five of Pentacles. This is about, you know, feeling alone, feeling rejected. So especially when it comes to the father wound, not feeling, it was just a scarcity of love, the scarcity of safety. Once again, it just feels like rejection. It feels like an abandonment. Also about, you know, being left out in the cold, literally, or just, you know, maybe not allowing even support. Whereas the Six of Pentacles here, this is about an equal, you know, give and take. It's about, you know, of course, you know, creating boundaries and stuff, but it's about being able to allow yourself to receive as well. A lot of times, especially when we're acting out of these type of wounds, we give way too much. We give way too much, or allow people to take way too much. It's about, you know, kind of reparenting ourselves here. So once again, not acting out of that wound, but cleansing that wound, inspecting that wound, and also being able to kind of change our maybe lives around a little bit. Like I said before, we go through things that chemically alter how we, you know, are. It's about learning how to receive without the shame, without any guilt. And once again, when we, you know, kind of have these issues, and whether, you know, mother or father issues, they can kind of be, you know, a lot of resistance towards any support. But, you know, of course, it's a thing of trying to gain control or trying to take control of our lives more, or to feel independence, because we had to grow up without that. We had to grow up without that parent or without that support. So we kind of feel like we need to stay like that. And so, like I said, that can affect your relationships, whether it's romantic or platonic. But you kind of move from I'm not enough to I'm deserving of this. I deserve this, or I'm deserving of. And lastly, the moon. The moon. I'm gonna let you guys look at this, because I want you to look at all the themes here. I want you to look at all the themes. This is about going within for answers. This is about tapping into the emotions, intuition, dreams. This is about the illusions too of life, the hidden memories. There was incense ashes in my nails. Anyways, but this is about shadow work. Once again, this is about shadow work. This is about ancestral grief that needs to be looked at, that needs to be healed, that needs to be cleansed. This is about the subconscious fears, or even the fears that was passed on to us from the women in our family, especially if they were done wrong. Once again, we know, I be going through the same thing, I know. But this is about kind of looking at those fears and kind of seeing if we need to take that with us, or maybe making it less of a fear and more of a teacher, seeing how we need to place maybe boundaries of how people should treat us or what we should accept. Like there's a mix, especially within my family, of, you know, maybe women who allowed way too much and who allowed their dreams and to, you know, be taken away by men, or allowed, you know, them to kind of put themselves as a pedestal, or maybe we even put them on a pedestal, or I don't know, it's just we allowed a lot. But then there's also the women who, you know, came out of that and you know had like a lot of resentment, or but there was also a mix of women who did not, and who kind of, you know, who were very powerful. So I'm not saying that they weren't powerful, not the women in my family, they're very powerful. But I'm just gonna say there's also still a lot of pain there. So you can recognize when there's pain, and you can, you know, call it what it is. All these fears of men, or safety, or even abandonment, they can cloud how we treat other people in our lives, or like just loom over us and kind of affect how we treat ourselves. And once again, it's kind of is a big place, you know, in the crown chakra, what we feel we are deserving of, but also in the root chakra, once again, that safety. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's a lot of cleansing, I feel like, on both sides, because there's, like I said, the women who, you know, there was like this stuff happened to, and they either became too dependent on these men and lost like their whole lives and their life force to people who were not supposed to be in their lives, maybe. And then there's the hyper independent women who are not accepting of any type of support or any love or anything. So you have to kind of be careful, you know. There's, like I said, a lot of cleansing that we need to do in our bloodlines and in our own bodies and minds as well. But with the moon too, this is also about trusting your intuition and the emotional tides that come with, you know, whatever you're going through. A lot of times we kind of sweep it under the rug to make ourselves comfortable. We make ourselves smaller. Don't do that. Don't do that. I think I did say that the superstar card actually popped out too, but I kind of tucked it back in there because it pops out during all of my readings for some reason. But, you know, it's kind of funny how it really do work for this as well. Once again, when it comes to your evolution and everything you're supposed to be and everything you're supposed to do, don't let this heaviness ruin you. Don't let it make you small. Don't let yourself become consumable. Don't let yourself become fearful either, or paranoid of love or anything else. I want you to fully live the life that you were supposed to live. So that's what Soul Honey Wellness is. It's a business I created to be able to help women fully step into their radiance, into, you know, who they're supposed to be. And, you know, whether it's Soul Honey Yoga, I'm always talking about these different, you know, topics and just these emotions and heaviness. You know, I'm always, you know, referring to these things. But whether it's with me or somebody else, or whether it's even just therapy, you know, once again, find things that work for you, that work and help you. Whether it's you just doing yoga by yourself. Soon I'll be doing yoga videos too to help people, you know, work through different things. But really, because it just feels like that's what my purpose is to help. And especially when it comes to women. Because yeah, it's just a lot going on. It's a lot that happened, like I said, within my bloodline and within, you know, with even my life. And that's just something I'm very just outspoken already about. And I was like, how about I just, you know, have a platform and where I can help more people and share more about this. But anyways, more about that later. But I want you to look at these three. I want you to look at these three. 1, 2, 3. 1. This was, I was hurt. This one is, I am learning to receive nourishment. And this one is, I go inward to cleanse the roots. Once again, my 3 messages here. A message from the universe. It is already done. You already have it. Whatever it is you're looking for, whatever it is you're, maybe struggling to get, you already have it. Remind yourself that you have it. 2, connect with the spirits of wonder, of imagination. Go back to your playfulness. To whatever you thought you lost. Go back to that. Go explore that more. But also let yourself, be able to allow your inner child to come out and play again. Maybe they didn't get to do that back then. Maybe it was just too much going on. They did not get to fully be a child. Allow yourself to embody your child self sometimes. Let them feel seen. Anyways, go back to your playfulness, to your joy, to your curiosity, to your pleasure. Stop taking life so seriously. Life is too short for that. And lastly, we go through things that chemically alter our minds and bodies, things that completely change us and how we're wired. Give yourself grace. So those were our messages. Once again, this was for your evolution here. This is for your evolution. This is for your evolution and for you to fully be able to step into that. But we're going to get into our sound bowl and our messages, our final affirmation wrap up. I'm excited. All right. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. As you breathe, allow yourself to release the belief that you must continue carrying what was never yours to begin with. I release the fear that was passed down to me. I release the pain that was inherited through generations. I release the wounds created by fathers who could not show up, protect, provide, nurture, love, or lead in all the ways that they were needed. I release the relationships I entered from a place of fear, abandonment, scarcity, or the desperate need to finally receive what I should have always known within myself. I release the pain of every partner, every connection, and every relationship that took from me more than it gave. I release the patterns I inherited from my mother, my grandmother, and the women who came before me. I honor what they survived, but I do not have to continue surviving the same story. I am allowed to choose something different. I call my energy back from every person, every relationship, every version of myself, and every timeline where I abandoned my own power in order to be loved. I call my power back from the love I begged for. I call my power back from the love I waited for. I call my power back from the love I thought I had to earn. What is meant for me does not require me to abandon myself. What is meant for me is already making its way to me. What is mine is already mine. It is already done. And I give myself grace for everything that changed me, for everything that altered the way I think, the way I love, the way I protect myself, and the way I move through the world. I am not broken because I adapted to survive, but I am allowed to evolve beyond the version of me that had to. I am allowed to feel safe again. I am allowed to trust myself again. I am allowed to receive. I am allowed to be supported. I am allowed to experience love that is reciprocal, nourishing, and abundant. I no longer have to live from fear of being left out in the cold. I no longer have to accept crumbs when I am worthy of abundance. I no longer have to give everything away to prove that I am deserving of receiving. I am open to the light beyond what I cannot see yet. I trust that not everything hidden is meant to harm me. I trust that some things are still unfolding. I trust the mystery, and I invite wonder back into my life. I invite imagination. I invite curiosity. I invite playfulness. I invite pleasure. I invite joy, and I give myself permission to stop taking life so seriously. I give myself permission to laugh again, to dream again, to create again, to be soft again, to become someone new. I evolve, I remember. I am not my wounds. I am not the patterns that came before me. I am not the relationships that failed me. I am not what was taken from me. I am the one who chooses what happens next. I am the one who breaks the cycle. I am the one who calls my power home, cleansed, purified, whole, and so it is. And so it has always been. And so it is already done. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming through and listening for the message for today. Once again, this was a very heavy message, but a powerful one. Yeah, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope you take this message and, actually live that out. So have a nice one. Love you.